How can you get certified in QuickBooks? This is actually one of the most common questions I get here in YouTube, via email and social media. People want to know, how do they get certified in QuickBooks? Now, keep in mind that when we say getting certified in QuickBooks, that means that you've learned QuickBooks enough that you can pass an exam, and then you can have a badge or a little certificate that says you know enough about QuickBooks to be dangerous, or maybe even to be even more than dangerous. Now, why would you want to get certified? Well, maybe you're an accounting professional and you want to serve multiple small businesses that use QuickBooks. Or maybe you are an accountant that graduated, that's looking for a job in a small business using QuickBooks, and you want to prove that you know how to use QuickBooks, or at least you know the basics enough to get certified. Maybe you want to just curious and you want to learn QuickBooks enough to get certified. Anyway, QuickBooks is an incredibly powerful small business accounting software, and it could be a really good addition to your curriculum and to your education and experience. Anyway, I want to add a caveat that this video is focused 100% in the United States market only. I actually don't know what this looks like outside of the United States, so don't ask me. I just don't know. I will add some comments here and there during the video on how I think it works, but just keep in mind that this is not the world that I live in. I live in 100% working with US accounting professionals, bookkeepers, US small businesses, that sort of thing. So let's get started. There's actually two official certifications. One is called the Intuit QuickBooks Certified User, and the QuickBooks Certified User is really meant for people that are not going to upkeep this annually. People that just want to get the certificate and get a job and move on. Now, this one in particular, this is organized by a company called CERTIPORT. So I'm actually going to put links in the description here below, and you can go into this page here and you can read exactly how it works. So you can click on exam objectives. We can download the PDF, or we can open it and I kind of show you the information that's in here. And this will actually just kind of walk you through everything you need to know before you take the exam. So the QuickBooks Online Certified User, this will be an exam that you're going to take either online through their virtual proctoring system or at a physical exam location. Again, I'll put links to this in the description, and you can find out through CERTIPORT directly. So you can download this PDF. It actually tells you all the topics that are going to be covered on the exam. So this is just basically a cheat sheet for you to know what you need to learn for each section of the exam. There's about 6 sections, and it goes over all the basic stuff. So like how to administer QuickBooks Online, how to do all the money in transactions, these are invoices and that sort of thing, how to do all the money out transactions, expenses, bills, that sort of thing, how to do your banking, scan your receipts, how to do your reports, and that's it. Like, as long as you know all those basic things, you should be able to get certified. Now, it says here that an individual earning a certification has at least 150 hours of instructions or hands-on experience. This is not a requirement. You don't have to prove that you have 150 hours of instructions. This is telling you that if you haven't had enough experience or learning, that you probably won't pass the exam. This is just an exam. This is not a course. This is just an exam. So keep that in mind. So once you're ready to take the QuickBooks Certified User exam, you go into where it says buy and you click on individual purchaser. And I'm not selling you this, by the way, because I'm actually going to show you a free one as I compare to this. I just want to show you how this works. And then in this website, you go find the QuickBooks exam. I'll zoom in a little bit. And here we go. So this is the cost of the exam. So we have $130 for the exam voucher and the retake. And then you can also purchase practice tests. They have some of these things called learning keys. This would be like the course that they sell. It's basically a bunch of videos. I haven't used them, so I'm not going to endorse them or say that they're good or not good or anything like that. The only thing I'm kind of focusing on is on the exam and the voucher. So that's $130, just so you know what it would take to become a certified user. Again, you do this through the CERTIPORT website. So that's the one that you pay one time, you get your certificate, you move on, you become a certified user. I actually took this exam. I actually took this exam very early on before I became a pro advisor. So I've been through this process, and it's fairly easy. It's like 50 questions, you get an hour, and you do have to have some experience. The second one, which is the one that most people are going to gravitate towards, especially if you are an accounting professional, somebody that has an accounting degree, somebody that works in accounting, somebody that is going to upkeep this certification every year, because the difference between the certified user that I just talked about is you take the exam once, you get the certificate, you move on. The QuickBooks Certified ProAdvisor program, you actually got to get certified and you have to renew it or get recertified every year. So this is more for the people that are going to make this a career. They're going to make supporting QuickBooks or working with QuickBooks a career. So keep that in mind. Now, the nice thing about this is as of the date of this video and from inception, this program is actually 100% free. No cost, no catch, no credit card required. I'm actually going to walk you through the whole thing. And at some point in the process, QuickBooks always said, hey, you have to have clients attached to this account. Otherwise, you can lose your free certification. I never see them enforce that. Hopefully, they will start enforcing that because, in my opinion, it's a little bit way too easy to become a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. But I'm going to walk you through the whole process so you know exactly what it looks like step by step. So I am in the Pro Advisor website. I'll put links here in the description. And then there should be a big button somewhere that says access, sign up, get started, something like that. And then I'm going to click there where it says free sign up. So the very first thing it's going to do is going to ask you to create an Intuit account. If you already have an Intuit account, and basically if you put your email address here, and it'll give you an error saying, oh, by the way, this user ID is already taken. You cannot create an account with this user ID. You will go through the recovery process. That way you don't have to create a brand new account. Go through that. But assuming that you have not created an account before, then you go and you put all your information here. So I'm going to finish putting my information. Put my cell phone number, and then click on the bottom where it says one more step. QuickBooks will most likely require you to verify via a text message or via an email. And this is the part where I said US only. Now, this part is particularly important because if you do not have a US cell phone, there's no way you can go through this verification process. So, period, you need to be in the US, have a US cell phone to be able to even get through this part. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue, and then we'll go to the next step. So now it tells you accounting firm name. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this one is really meant for people that are going to be serving multiple clients using QuickBooks, not for someone that doesn't work for an accounting firm or doesn't have an accounting firm. So I'm just going to make up an accounting firm. I'm going to call it Garcia Firm Company or something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put my zip code. And then I'm going to say it's just me, one employee, and then click finish. Again, they don't verify the account name or anything like that. They should, but they don't. So you're just going to put any account firm name, just put your name, and that's it. So this is kind of how you get started. Now, if you work for a firm, make sure that you put your firm's name, or if you have a business name, put your business name in there, because that's when you actually invite your clients to use QuickBooks, that's actually what they're going to see. Okay, so now I'm logged into Garcia Firm Company. There's a left navigation bar that's really important. You can collapse and expand the left navigation bar. That's probably going to be the single most important part, because everything you need is going to be right there in the left navigation bar. Now, as I scroll down over here, this is what's called my client list. I don't have any clients right now, so that's why it doesn't show any clients. But this is basically what the screen looks like when you first get started. If there's any type of pop-ups, you can close them, give you a little bit more real estate. And this is kind of like what it looks like when you first get started. Now, eventually you're going to click on add client. And once you have your small business clients that you start adding to this, I'm going to put here client one or something like that, just so you kind of understand the workflow here. Okay, you're then going to pick who's going to pay for the QuickBooks Online account. So am I going to pay for it? So if I'm going to pay for it as the accountant, then I get to pick which version of QuickBooks I'm going to pay for. And eventually my client pays me for my services. That includes QuickBooks. So that's one sort of way to work when you add a client like that. The other way to work, I'm just going to go back here and click on Add Client, is you go through the same process here. Just put here a random email. And then down here, you put that you're going to give what's called a direct discount to your client or a revenue share, either one, but we'll do direct discount. And then you click on Next. And again, you pick the version of QuickBooks that you're going to pick. But then after you go through the process, your client will get an email and your client will be the one putting their credit card and they will be paying for QuickBooks Online. So you can work in one of two ways. One, your client is paying for QuickBooks Online and you're collaborating with them. Or two, you are paying for QuickBooks Online and you might be collaborating with your client, or you might not be collaborating with your client. You might just be running the books on your own and then giving your client just the financial reports. So there's basically just two ways of working once you have this QuickBooks Online accountant account. This is what they call the QBOA, QuickBooks Online Accountant account. It has the big word accountant in the top left. It's gray instead of a black navigation bar. You're logged in into your firm. You're logged in as an accountant. Okay, so let's go to the next steps here, which is like how to go and how to get certified. So we're gonna click here, it says ProAdvisor, and then there's a sub menu, and we're gonna go into training. So this is where you go to get certified. Notice that you have a couple of tabs. You have Training Home, Personalized Pass, Certification Hub, and Training Library. So when you go straight to get certified, you click on Certification Hub, and then you're gonna see a couple of certifications. You're gonna see your QuickBooks Online certification, and then down here on the bottom, we have these two that are locked because you can't unlock these until you get the first certification, which is the advanced certification. This is a real good one to have because you're gonna get listed in the list of pro advisors, and the advanced certified ones get listed first. So that's how you get clients, by being advanced certified. And then you also can get certified in payroll. So that's pretty cool. It's not just one level, you can unlock 3 levels, okay? So if you're ready to take the exam, let's say you already know QuickBooks Online and you're ready to go, you click here, it says Take Exam, then you click on Take Exam, you click on Proceed, and you start, okay? So let's say we click on Start Section, click on Yes, I have read and understood this. You must read this and agree to this. It just basically means you're not gonna cheat, that you're not gonna find the answer somewhere else, that you're not gonna get somebody that knows to be next to you, that you're not gonna print any of these and share with anybody else. Basically says it's a code of conduct, right? So I'm taking the exam and I'm doing the things correctly. And then it's gonna ask you a question, right? So which 4 sections of the overview screen can help you perform a high level? And you select 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, I haven't even looking at the answers. Those are probably the wrong answers anyway. And then you go to Next, and then you go to the next one. You answer your questions. You go to Next. You answer your questions. You go to Next. Of course, again, I'm just Christmas treeing this thing. I'm not really going through and getting these correctly. So you're gonna go through the whole process, and I just want to show you. I'm gonna go through and kind of show you what this looks like when it's finished. And again, notice that I didn't put a credit card anywhere. I didn't have to pay. All I had to have is a cell phone to verify, that I'm in the U.S. Okay, so we'll go through and answer all the questions. Again, I just kind of want to show you what it looks like when you finish. Click on Review, Submit Section, and that's it. So once you click on Submit Section, and I'm just going to kind of go back here to Training, and go back to Certification Hub and go to Take Exam. Once you go there, it will submit it, and then you will be done with that section. And then you got to take all 5 sections. So it's basically 5 exams that you're taking. It'll probably take you about 2.5 hours to finish this whole thing. Again, this is assuming you already know QuickBooks. We're not even talking about the training. We're talking about just taking the exam. And then once you finish all these sections, then you officially get certified. You're going to go into Certification Hub, and then you're going to see your certification down here, where it says Certification History. You'll be able to print it, publish it online, etc., etc. One thing I want to add is if you don't know anything about QuickBooks and you're just getting started, you're going to click here where it says Training Library, and then you're going to go through the training program. So we're going to start with QuickBooks Online, which is going to be the certification that we're going to do. And you're going to see that you have on-demand and webinar. So there's 2 ways to learn QuickBooks. One is we're going to click on Webinar, and then there's a whole bunch of webinars listed here. Of course, this is as of the day that I'm recording this, but they always have in schedule a webinar of sorts. Like for example, to get the certification core is 8 sessions total. So this is 1 of 8, 2 of 8, 3 of 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And they're about an hour and 15 minutes each, an hour and 30 minutes each. This one's this one's 2 hours. So it's actually between 1 or 2 hours each one. So it's 8 sections. So it could take you a good 15 to 16 hours, maybe 14 hours or so of actual live webinars to go through the training needed to take the exam. You don't have to take any training. You don't have to watch any webinars. You can just go take the exam. If you know QuickBooks really well, again, from the point of view of an accounting professional, then you should be able to pass the exam with ease. So if you don't have time to do particularly specifically scheduled webinars, you can click on demand, and then you can follow the self-paced training. So we'll go click on the first one, and basically there's two sections here, 6 minutes and 12 minutes. And I'll click on start. And then basically it's just gonna walk you through stuff, right? So it's just gonna walk you through stuff. It's a bunch of text. You have to read all this text, click and continue to learn. Come in here, it kind of explains to you all the things that you need to know. And you're gonna go through it. You're gonna read this whole thing. There's not that many videos. There's some knowledge checks here. Okay, so you can go through it. I'm just gonna answer here at random. I don't know which is the right answer. Here we go. And then once you go to the knowledge check, you go to continue training, and then you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you do all your lessons. I'm just gonna kind of fast forward a little bit to maybe something more exciting, like reports is a little bit more exciting. And then we'll go here to advanced skills. So at some point in the process, you're gonna be here, and then you're gonna go through the training. And again, now you get screenshots. Now you can zoom in. You can see exactly what the screens look like. There's multiple tabs, multiple explanations. Some of these will have like mini animations, kind of explaining what everything is. And that's it. That's what you're going to do. Basically, you're reading. It's almost like a book that you're going to be reading off the screen. And once you go through all this and you read all this, once you complete the training, then you can say, you know what? I did the self-paced training. So here in the training library, I finished all of these things 100%. I'm not certified for taking the training. I just watched all these things. And look, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 1 hour. So if you actually go through this and actually add all these up, that's a good 16 to 18 hours, most likely, probably even more. But then that's when you go back to Certification Hub, and then you actually go and take the exam. And notice that you have 3 attempts to take the exam. So if you failed it 3 times, I think you have to wait 60 days or 90 days to be able to take it again. So make sure that you study before. Don't just show up and try to see if you can pass the exam. Again, you can try that, but just kind of keep that in mind. Now, really quick, at this point, people say, Hector, what about a book? Like, is there a book I can read to learn how to use QuickBooks and get certified? Absolutely. If you go to Amazon and you just type QuickBooks, there's going to be tons of books available. You got this one called Mastering QuickBooks 2024. I'm sure if you're watching this next year after I record it, there will be a 2025, et cetera, et cetera. There's tons of books out there. I can't really endorse anyone in particular. However, if you search my friend's book, I trust her quite a bit. Her name is Alicia Katz Pollock, and I'll put a link to the book in the description as well. And here it is. This is this one right here. It's called QuickBooks Online from Setup to Tax Time. And the reason why I'm going to mention this book specifically is because this book was actually designed around the certified user curriculum. So if you're going to go this route that we talked about earlier, if you're going to go through the CERTIPORT route and become a certified user, again, this is what we talked about right at the beginning of the video, where you could become a certified user. This book, Alicia's book, actually it's structured with the same content as the certification as a certified user. So that's something you can use as an option, right? So I'll put a link to Alicia's book if you want to get a physical book as a companion. You don't need one, but some people want to have an official a paper book as a companion. You can certainly do that, and that book will help you become a certified user or prep you for the certified user. In either case, if you're brand new and you've never used QuickBooks before and you're looking for a book, I'm sure a lot of the books from the reputable sources would be good, but I'm pretty certain that Alicia's book is going to be high quality. And the reason why I know this is because Alicia is my co-host in my podcast. We actually have a weekly podcast that talks about QuickBooks all the time. I'll put links to the description below as well. And I know she's an excellent educator, so I wanted to, again, one more chance to plug her in, and I'll put a link to this book in the description. Anyway, so that's when it comes to books. Now, when it comes to like training programs, like videos and courses, not sure what to tell you. There's tons of them, and I'm sure they're all going to be useful. None of them are official per se. The only official thing is going to be the ProAdvisor program or the certified user. So anything you get is going to be extra official. It's not going to be, like the course or the certification program, but I wouldn't be against any sort of additional training. Of course, there's my course that you can take. It's over 4 hours worth of content. It is designed to be multiple mini lessons in bite-sized pieces, so you can digest them, one mini lesson at a time. And there's also an accompanying community where you can go ask questions, clarifying questions, that sort of thing. That's definitely one option. If you're watching my video, that means you are in my channel. So, needless to say, this is a good place to learn. My channel has tons of videos, mostly about QuickBooks. So definitely explore what's in the channel. I have a particular playlist that's actually worth looking at. It's called QuickBooks Online 2024 Tutorial for Beginners. Every year I update this one. So like I have about 10 hours worth of videos on this. So I'll go ahead and post that. But the nice thing about it is it has a whole bunch of sequential videos you can watch, and it's about 10 hours worth. So I'll put a link to that as well. Again, these are just videos. They're not certification. I want to emphasize this one more time. If you want to get certified, you have to go through CERTIPORT, take the exam, and become a QuickBooks certified user, or you have to go in the QuickBooks ProAdvisor portal and get certified through the portal, period. These are the only ways to get certified in an official capacity in QuickBooks. Now, I went ahead and logged out of that account that I created, and I logged in into like one of my real accounts. And this is what it looks like when you have customers. So these are all my customers that are in my QuickBooks Online accountant account. So some of these for the lack of a better term, some of these I pay for their QuickBooks. Some of them, they pay for QuickBooks and they invited me to work with them. When you click on any of these customers here, you'll be able to go into their file. So again, you're logged in as an accountant through your portal after you get certified. And now you can work with your client. Notice here in the top, it says accountant. That's letting you know that you're logged in as an accountant, and you're able to use their QuickBooks, so you're collaborating with your client live. If I come back here, I go back to practice, I go back to my QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor portal. And one really cool thing about the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor portal, which you should look at after you pass the exam, or maybe while you're taking the exam, it would be useful, is you actually have a free QuickBooks Online account for you to use for your firm, for your accounting business. And it's all built into here. So when I'm logged in as an accountant, for example, I'm not logged in into any clients. Here where it says your books, and I'll collapse this and expand this, your books, this is like your own QuickBooks file. So when you come in here into sales and go to all sales, you're going to see your sales. So if I click on create invoice, I can, from here, you can use this to then invoice your clients. So I'm going to invoice ABC Corp. And for my monthly accounting services or whatever it is, 5 hours times $350 an hour, there's my invoice for the amount. I click on save, email it. The client gets an email. Hopefully they'll pay you electronically, and you'll be able to use QuickBooks Online for your firm, all built into the ProAdvisor portal. So it's all sort of the same thing. You're here. This is all your accounting stuff, like for your own firm. And then up here, you're going to have your list of clients. Under ProAdvisor, again, you're going to go into training, and then you're going to go into Certification Hub. And then once you get certified, you can download your certificate. So right here, it says, now grab your certificate. I'll click on download certificate. It'll download a PDF, which I can grab over here. I'll open it up so you see what that looks like. And this is my badge. Okay, so this is, once I get certified, this is what I can put on my business cards, on my website, on my email, on my LinkedIn profile, whatever it is. When I'm certified, so like Hector Garcia is a certified QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. There's the official logo. And then if I click on the other file here, the PDF, this is the actual certificate of completion. So you'll print that, put that on the wall, give it to your future employer, give it to your boss, whatever it is. This is your official certification. Okay. Also, once you get certified, you can share these things with LinkedIn. So if you have LinkedIn, you can use the sharing mechanism that LinkedIn has. I have an advanced certification as well. So I'm going to click here, download certificate. So I'll be able to see the advanced one too. And the advanced one has a different logo. So I'm going to zoom this in so you can see. So once you get the core certification, then you're going to want to get the advanced. Whoops, zoomed in too much. You want to get the advanced certification because that's, it'll separate you from the rest. I think only like 10% of pro advisors are advanced certified. And I haven't gotten the payroll certification yet. And I was certified in desktop at some point, but I forgot to renew. And then I have to take the exam again. And this is the thing. You have to renew every single year. You got to go back and certify every single year. Now, after you're done with your certifications and you added your client, you have your own file here, you're going to go into the training library and you're going to learn a whole bunch of other stuff. Here's a recertification that you take every year. It's about 2 hours. So, every year before June 30th, you're going to have to get recertified, take the training, take the exam again. So that's a good example of that. Also, there's once you get certified, this is like beyond the certification. There's really cool trainings here. You have foundational skills, introduction to bookkeeping. So if you want to learn a little bit about, like financial statements and bookkeeping and that sort of thing, in my opinion, you probably shouldn't get certified in QuickBooks until you know some basic bookkeeping. But here are some videos that you can watch. I don't know why it's not playing, but I'll let you play it when you try it yourself. So there are some videos there. There you go. There are some videos here you can watch that show you fundamental stuff about accounting and business and that sort of thing. So that's there. We got some fundamental bookkeeping videos. There's now videos on showing you how to become an advisor, how to give your clients, how to be a good consultant, how to give your clients good advice. We're talking about tax advice, accounting advice, business advice, all these things. So there's all sorts of trainings here. So just to teach you how to be a better professional. Here, this one called Framing Advisory Work. If you look at one of these classes here and you click on Start, one of the good things is that the trainer that teaches this class is an incredibly good-looking person. Okay, I don't know who he is. I haven't met him, but it's just a very, very good-looking person that teaches this class. Oh, it's me! Look at that. It's amazing. Okay. Anyway, So I worked pretty closely with Intuit, and then I was one of the trainers that had the privilege to teach one of the additional courses are here, and they're all these are taught by different pro advisors, different accountants. But I was able to teach one of those classes. Hopefully, that will stay there for a very long time, so people get to enjoy that. There's also some basic tax training, like how to prepare 1040 tax return. That's pretty cool too. Even if you're not a tax preparer, that's actually valuable stuff to learn. Let's see what else we got here. We got and if you pay extra, I believe it's $800 a year or $1,000 a year. Don't quote me on this. You can also get certified on QuickBooks Desktop. Like all this time, we were talking about QuickBooks Online, not desktop, but you do have to pay extra. Or you got to pay something because the online one is free. You got to pay to be QuickBooks Desktop certified, which could come in handy if you're supporting clients that are on QuickBooks Desktop. I believe it's either $800 or $1,000 a year that I'm paying for that. The additional desktop, because it comes with the software license as well. Now, if you click here on benefits, it's really cool. Once you get certified, you go up in tiers, and the higher tier you are, the more benefits you get. One of the really cool benefits here that it's worth looking at is this additional training content. Scroll all the way down. Right here, it says download training materials. This is pretty cool. Every year they give you updated materials so you can go out and teach QuickBooks. So here's an example of what that looks like. So here's something you can print. in a classroom environment, in a one-on-one. There's 5 courses, and this is the closest thing to a printed manual that there is. But this manual is really meant for accountants to teach their clients how to use QuickBooks and how to collaborate. So this is pretty neat as well. So you can print these. It's a lot of pages. It's like maybe 300 or 400 pages worth for all 5 of these PDFs. But this is a good, kind of a good printed material that you can have. Like honestly, you probably spend more money printing this in color than buying a book, like the book that I talked about earlier. But it's good piece of content for you to train your clients, right? For you to train your clients. And there's a whole bunch of benefits here. Once you get certified and once you add clients and that sort of thing, you kind of go up in the tiers and get access to more stuff. So that's it. That's how you get certified in QuickBooks Online, either as a QuickBooks Online certified user or like me, QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. As I mentioned to this, everything that I've shown is the US version of this. I know for a fact that this program exists either the same or very similar in Canada, in the UK, and Australia. So I know those 4 countries, US, Canada, UK, Australia, have established ProAdvisor programs that are all very similar. They all follow the same scheme. Outside of those countries, I don't know. I don't know when it will be coming to your country. I don't know what other options you have. If you don't have a US cell phone or you don't live in any of those countries, how do you become a ProAdvisor? The answer is probably you can't. Right? This is based and focused on a particular market. Okay, and the reason why that's particularly important is because once you get certified, you then have what's called the ProAdvisor profile. So the ProAdvisor profile is it's your business, right? So you upload your picture, people can review you. You have all the information about your business, your website, your phone numbers, all that stuff. You can write a little bit about you. Here's all your badges, as we talked about earlier, right? So every time you get certified, you get a badge. Basically, you just create a profile. People can rate you on your performance or whatever. You create a profile and then you publish this profile. This becomes a public profile. So the public profile is when people go to Google and type, for example, find an accountant. It's going to give you an example of this. So if people go to find an accountant, one of the searches that show up is the QuickBooks search. Actually, it's one of the most ones in the top 10 right here. Find the QuickBooks ProAdvisor. So people go there, they put a zip code, go to find a ProAdvisor, and then it shows all the ProAdvisors in the area. So let me just put a different zip code here. It puts all the ProAdvisors in the area. So people looking for a local accountant that's an expert in QuickBooks, they're going to be listed in the directory, right, based on zip code. So here's Mindy, here's me, here's Pablo, here's a bunch of other. And like all the ones in the top are advanced, and then the ones that are not advanced are in the bottom, right? So you want the advanced get brought to the top, and the non-advanced go to the bottom. So you do want to go down the path and not just get the regular certification, get the advanced certification. Plus, you're gonna be a better consultant to your clients. You're gonna know QuickBooks better. You're gonna be able to give them better advice. The advanced one really goes deep into like integrating with other apps and tricky accounting situations and that sort of thing. So that's it. That's my encouragement to you to get started, to get certified in QuickBooks. Hopefully you become a ProAdvisor, and put in the comments if it worked for you, if you were able to create an account, if you're able to get certified. Share your excitement with everybody so we can root for you. And I hope you become one of us. Let's help small businesses prosper through knowing how to use QuickBooks correctly and giving the right set of advice. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.